Okay, hi, this is Doris. Alright, that's the town that I made. I kept it on the left side, the right side, and the middle as same as the human design chart. Because I believe that the locations of that are important to keep those locations. It's easier to see. Now, when you study human design, you'll look at it and they'll say, well, here you're a manifestor, you're a generator, they categorize you. And then the second thing they do is they say, oh, look up what you are, 3-4 or 4-2, or that stuff doesn't matter to children, and that is not important right now. That stuff that's important when you're older and you want to look up things and go back at your life and look at how it played out, and it makes sense then. But as a child, no. What I look at is the cross first. You're given a cross on your human design chart. It's at the top of the chart when you do your brave chart. If you don't know how to get started, go to my tapes called Let's Get Started. Okay, from there you type your information and you'll come up with a chart for yourself. It looks like a human figure with a bunch of lines and numbers circled on it. The cross, where it says at the top what your cross is, that is your divine purpose. The reason then on the chart itself, where the stick man is, the figure, you'll see a bunch of numbers. They're either in red that you might not even know you have. Those are powers that you don't even know. Usually they're subconscious powers that you don't, abilities that you do, but you don't really, they just come, you do what you're not aware of. Now then there's the black numbers. Those are the ones that you pretty much should be aware of. Ones coming from your mother's side or your father's side. The symbols that you're seeing on the chart, those are symbols of the solar system when you were born. So, okay, so you got a chart in front of you and you got a bunch of numbers. The top says a cross. It says a cross mine says a cross of education. Yours might say the same or something different. Then you are given gates. That is at the bottom of the cross on the picture itself. Now those gates are given to you to learn and to develop, because those gates are what you need, is the tools you need to be able to do your cross in the end, successfully. So we're going to start out as, my idea is starting this as children's. You need to know your cross. That's very important. That's just for the knowledge. And then you start looking into your gates. Now each gate is based on these stories that I told. I told 64 stories. It's called in number order. If you look up your gates, you'll know what they are. You can also go back to other references too. Now when you look into, like for example, if you have one of these gates, like the painter with the canvas, or the conductor, or at the hotel, I told a story about a key card. Well, what you do is you look up these gates, you find out what you have, and you get inventive and you think about it. You think about these characters. There's 32 different characters you can make for action figures. When you design your children's room, you fill it up with a bunch of things that make them happy. And it doesn't have to be, for example, zombies or like that are out in the market now. Yeah, let's get back to what makes our child special, and let's start making ideas on that basis. Okay, so basically you do a chart on a child and you have a bunch of gates, and then we're going to take those gates. There's 32 of them. Well, there's 64 gates in total. Each of them have a little side equipment. Each of them have a doll. We're going to turn them into action figures, turn them into things that a child would have and love to play with. We're also going to have books to tell the stories of how special these children are. They can be written many different ways. I already gave you a sample of how to get started, so you don't have to, start the ball from phase one, invent the wheel again. And you would tell the child stories. These stories will make them understand why they do what they do. The ones who want to explore, the ones who want to learn, to investigate, to bring out their talents. And these stories could go so many different ways in so many different volumes by sticking with the same gates and sticking with the same buildings. I don't like seeing children who are in teenage years and are lost. I don't like seeing people the adult age that don't know where their direction is and what makes them happy. Okay, we're going to start this as not looking at, okay, they're going to be a generator in the end, that means they're going to be a worker. No. They need to spend at least 20 some years being proud of who they are before then. And as a parent, and maybe soon, or hopefully in a couple years, a grandparent, this is going to happen. I am going to surround them with, and from all the dolls I made in the buildings, there's so many different ways you can go with this. Ideas. It's just unreal. With the action figures, with the pretty, you could go porcelain dolls, you could go cow decals, you could go any way you want. But this idea will be given at an early age based on the gates to show a child who asks a lot of questions, and it's okay to show a child who does this and does that and has the characteristics of these gates, that are born with these powers, with these abilities to bring them out, develop them, and to surround them in their surroundings with where they see and they play with what they need to make, in the end, the cross to be done correctly. For they will never feel lost. You don't need to wait till you're a teenager to find out what you're good at. You need years to develop those. I'm not even going to get into the school systems and how that, in my eyes, that they have a little bit of weaknesses. But I believe that starting with human design in the world and bringing it out into the market as preschool is a great way to show individually children that they're special, to bring them into groups. Not to bring them into groups as saying, oh look, those are all the slow readers. What kind of a world is that? Why don't we bring them into groups and say, hey, look, those are all the conductors, and they set paces, and those are all the talented people, and those are all, put them in gates to make them feel proud. You don't put them in gates to make them feel negative. Because once they're around their gates, that they are feeling proud and they're doing what they want to. Because when you study children, you find out that the drive, what makes them move. This is a natural drive in them. So if you give them something that is in their natural ability of a drive, they will excel in it. Yes, it will probably go basically in the end after the preschool years, which I'm basically targeting at starting the preschool years. I can see this going into early elementary, and also pre-college credit classes. It's going to go farther and farther, but we need to start with the beginning, preschool. Thank you so much.